Hi, I'm Carole and welcome to this All Levels Yoga practice. I hope you enjoy this practice. It begins with a couple of minutes of centering breath, followed by warm-ups and yoga postures, including balance. It completes with a few minutes of deep rest, Shavasana. So when you're ready, get settled on your mat and let's begin.
For this practice, you may require the use of two blocks, particularly for desk pose. So coming into a comfortable place, if seated, we're going to press down into the sits bones and lengthening up the spine, the back of the neck, lifting up towards the top of the head, feeling tall but not stiff or rigid. Ease the shoulders down from the ears, soften the upper arms, the elbows through the lower arms to wrists and fingers. Allow the eyes to softly close and ease the awareness to follow your natural breath. Easy in and easy out. Consider your exhales to be a letting go breath. Consider your inhales to be an invitation, inviting in quiet, inviting in calm. And as you begin to find yourself settling and easing away from all the busyness of your day, gradually bring your breath under your control as you ease into your practice of Dirgha Pranayam, 3-part breath. Following each breath from the very beginning through to the middle and all the way to the very end of each breath. Long, slow, controlled, but without force or strain. Layering on the ocean sounding breath, use our pranayam if you wish, just bringing that slight restriction to the back of the throat. One more long, slow breath in, followed by that long, slow breath out. And when you're ready to take your next inhale, returning to your easy, natural flow of breath. Opening the eyes on your inhale and on your exhale, give yourself a wriggle, stretch, a shake out. And if you're settled on your back, just bring yourself up to find a comfortable seat, moving into a side stretch. Leg position, any place that feels really comfortable for you. It's your inhale to lift tall and your exhale to come over, easing, opening the side waist. Bring a little space to the intercostal muscle between each rib. Those strong intercostal muscles allow the lungs to really flow, expand, so you can take deeper breaths, longer, slower breaths, easier. One more time to each side. bringing yourself to center. A couple of shoulder shrugs up towards the ears, all the way down the back body, up towards the ears, and all the way down the back body. Let the hands come together, interlock the fingers, bring the elbows close in, they don't have to touch, and draw a figure 8 through the wrists. And then see if you take the figure 8 around in the opposite direction. And then just a little side to side. And we're going to cat and dog. If you're going to stay seated for cat and dog, let the hands come behind the head, interlock the fingers, bring the thumbs down behind the ears, open out the elbows wide, and as you exhale, bringing the elbows towards each other, tucking the chin and rounding down. And you inhale to lift, let the elbows go out nice and wide, push the back of the head into the hands and open the chest a little bit more. Again, 3-part breath, Dirgha Pranayam. Use that pranayam, nice, slow, controlled breaths here as you move, warming up the spine. Breath begins, tailbone moves, and then the rest of the spine follows. And one more cat, and one more dog. When you roll all the way up, just release the arms away. Roll out the shoulders, nod the head. Maybe bring the legs forward and give them a shake out. And when you're ready, run walk to the top end of your mat. So finding a little rock on the sits bones as you lengthen down the legs. Bring the palms to face each other. Roll the shoulders up and down the back. Press deeply into the back of the legs. Lift up through the back body. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, tuck the chin and roll on down to land lightly on your mat. Modification, hand to the ground, hands behind the thighs, feet to the floor. And when you're all the way down that beautiful rock across the sacrum area, come through center and pose. Bringing both feet to the floor, let the arms go up towards the sky. Right arm comes behind you. Keep it there. Left arm comes behind you. Pick up your right foot and lengthen down your right leg. Pick up your left foot and lengthen down your left leg. Nice long tall stretch. Bend the knees, bring the feet back to the floor, lift the arms up and over. Take a deep rest, in and out breath. So you're going to pick up the right arm, and as the right arm comes behind you, the left knee is going to come up into the chest. And then you're going to lift the knee up, the arm up, and return it to start. Then the opposite side. The right knee is coming in, the left arm goes up and over. And then up and back. So right arm, left knee, long stretch. And then when you return, it's your left arm and your right knee. I'm doing that one more time on each side. Right arm, left knee. And then left arm, right knee. Both arms up towards the sky and behind you. Going back into that long, deep stretch. Picking up your right toe, sliding your right leg long. Picking up your left toe, sliding your left leg long. Reach, reach, reach. Press down into the back of the legs. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, relax the arms, soften the legs. And bring the feet back to the floor. Bring the arms up and over, back beside you. Open up the shoulders, make sure they're nice and wide on your mat. And when you're ready, knees come into the chest. Moving into bicycle, nice and easy bicycle. Any speed. Keeping the mid back down. So you may want to start with your legs high and then work your legs a little lower. And just find that place you can do your bicycle without any strain in the lower back. So the mid back stays grounded, and then reverse your bicycle. When you're ready, bring both knees into your chest. Go for a lovely rock across your lower back. And then come through center. Bring the arms down beside you, palms are down. You tuck the chin, we're going to come up onto the forearms and bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. So on an exhale, lift yourself up, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, knees into your chest. Bicycle. So again, maybe you want to start with your legs higher, and eventually bring them a little lower where you feel that you can keep the spine long, the chest lifted, and really lengthen through the back of the legs. Reverse your bicycle. Bring both knees into your chest. Take a deep breath in and out. And take the elbows out a little bit. Tuck the chin. Ease yourself back down onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest and rock across your lower back. Come through center. Take a deep breath in and out. Keeping the knees tucked into the chest, tuck the chin, lift the head. Bring the hands behind the head, interlock the fingers, thumbs behind the ears. Lay the head down. Take a nice deep breath right across the chest. On the exhale, tuck the chin, lift the head, bring the belly button down towards the spine. So we're going to pump out the right leg. And you're going to bring your right elbow over towards your left knee. Bring that in, come back to center, and then it's your opposite leg and your left elbow towards your right knee, and then come in. So it's a pump, it's a push at those legs, it's elbow across the torso, it's the hands supporting the head, but the weight of the head is in the hands, it's not the hands pushing the head up. Woo-hoo. You may want to blow out that breath, your counter-blowing breath. It's very helpful. Couple more if you can. And then bring the knees in, lay the head down very gently, and rock across the lower back. Come through center. Let the feet come to the floor. We're moving into reclining Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees up. Let the mid-back rise now. At the front of the belly, the torso goes soft. Place the hands wherever they're comfortable, and maybe a slow rock of the head side to side here might feel pretty good. Moving into happy baby. So when you're ready, bring your knees up, separate out your feet, bring your knees into the chest, footprints to the ceiling, legs out to where they're comfortable, hold on to where it's best for you, and again, rock across your lower back. Make sure the chin is tucked and the back of the neck is long. And then come through center and see if you can engage your happy baby a little bit more, maybe planting down your tailbone a little bit more closer towards the top end of your mat. Ankles over the knees, legs out a little wider. Take a deep breath in and out here. And then soften through the legs, let them come back into center, release the hands, and bicycle, shake out the legs. Bring the knees into the chest. We're going to spiral rock up. So take a deep breath in, and then exhale, tuck the chin and spiral rock up. And we're coming into desk pose. So maybe finding your blocks, that may be helpful. Bringing yourself into a Dandasana position. Sits bones are underneath you, legs hip width apart, being nice and tall. So a little roll of the shoulders. We've already done some wrist stretches. So just check in with your wrists. Any wrist sensitivity, come up on your knuckles and have your wrists facing in. Otherwise, fingers forward, either on your mat or on your block. Bend your knees and bring the feet to the floor. Make sure the spine stays tall and walk the feet a little further away from you. But where the toes stay down on your mat, you're going to get a beautiful stretch on the top of the foot, the ankle, and the shin. And check that the knees are staying up to 12 o'clock and not going out. So a lot of energy into your big toe, inside edge of your foot. And when you're ready, you're going to use the breath in to lift the hips straight up off the mat. Try not to swing them forward, so it's a lift up, using your upper arm muscles here. And again, if you're on your knuckles, it looks like this. So you can lift. If fingers forward don't work for you, You can take your fingers out or behind you. But try not to have the hand way behind the hips. They're right beside the hips if you can. And yes, it's a deep breath. Press into your feet. Lift the hips. Can you lift them up to 12 instead of bringing them forward? Try it one more time. We're going to go back to those wrist circles that we started practice with. Let's go to 8. And then maybe the opposite direction. And then coming back. So again, find the right placement for your hands. Protect your wrists. Make sure the toes are down. Hip width apart. And when you're ready, lift the hips. And this time, tuck the chin, look down towards your knees as you lift the knees up and the hip crease forward. And you can't see your feet, but there'll be a place you need to adjust your feet. So just walk that out to where it feels best for you. Stay by your hip creases and lift it up a little higher if you can. So tucking the chin and looking down towards your knees is going to protect your neck. But you can lay the head back, like the back of the head is on a pillow or supported, but it doesn't drop down behind you. I like to keep mine tucked, looking down towards my knees. So just find what works for you. And as I'm talking, you may decide that you're sinking a little bit and lift the hips up a little higher. Use those upper arm muscles. Coming down, pick up the toes. Bring the hips underneath the shoulders. Stay lifted if you can. Lift one more breath in and out. And then lay the hips down nice and gently. Bring your soles of the feet together. Again, back into the wrist circles or a shake out for the wrists or that figure 8, whichever's going to feel good for your wrists here. And then we're going to round the spine forward. So you're going to wrap your arms underneath and grab onto your toes at the top of your foot. Tuck your chin under, right? Your head down. And round the spine in the opposite direction that you just took it in desk pose. Maybe even nod your head here. And then keeping the chin tucked in. Lengthen it up through the spine. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Bring your heels in a little close to you. And butterfly wings. And just hold the knees out to where they're comfortable. They're tall. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, soften everything. Bring the legs forward. Give them a shake out. Maybe a little massage or pummel. And we're preparing for our ragdoll to come up for standing. So when you're ready, bring your feet over to one side and bring yourself back into that small ball. Let your head really go here. Maybe nod it. Let it feel heavy off the top of the spine. And when you're ready, hips higher than your shoulders. And roll on up at your own pace. And once you're all the way up, maybe an empty cunt sleeves, a shake out, a high march, a hip circle. Lots of things might feel really, really good for you. And then finding yourself standing in mountain at the top end of your mat. So make sure you have your mat ahead of you. You'll be stepping forward. So take a deep breath in your mountain, and on your exhale, step your right foot forward. We're moving into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So step that foot forward or creep your toes forward to where it feels right for you. Keep that back leg nice and long. Start with the shoulders right above the hips and bringing the arms forward, shoulders back, fingers wide. Really feel the webbing between your fingers here. Wait for an inhale for the right thumb to go forward and rise the whole arm up towards the sky. Feel that great length. The same on the left. It's inhale, pull forward and rise on up. So you're nice and tall mountain arms. And then when you're up, decide if you want to creep out that right foot a little bit more. If you do, make sure your back leg doesn't buckle. That back thigh is lifting up, the back of the knee is lifting up, the calf muscle is going down towards the back of the ankle. Look ahead of you. Looking straight ahead. Wait for an exhale for the arms to release down. Nod of the head, a roll of the shoulders. Wait for an exhale if you're going to step your back foot forward. Or lots of little steps, your choice, but big breath, you need to blow it out. Then give yourself a little shake out. And moving back to mountain at the top end of your mat. Being nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, soften the knees and step your left foot forward. Think about your right leg, long and strong, and then creep out your left foot or step your left foot more forward, your choice. Knee before or over the ankle. Arms forward, shoulders back, fingers wide. Take a breath. Let your left foot lead you up towards the sky. Really feel that left side open up. And then when you're ready, your right arm goes all the way up. And looking ahead of you, finding that drifty spot to gaze at. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, relax the arms and go. If you're releasing that back foot forward in one big stride, you use that blow-out breath, or lots of little steps if that's easier. And then give yourself a nice little shake out. And preparing for a Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Finding a comfortable stride. Think about the inside edges of your feet like railroad tracks, straight, and the toes nice and wide. Pull the energy up the legs, so you're not sinking down into the ankles. It's rising all the way up. And when you're ready, picking up your right toes, top end of your mat. Left heel up and out. And when you're ready, bend your right knee, creep, step, or walk that foot out to any width that works best for you. But check this inner thigh is in a straight line down your mat. So sometimes that hip goes behind you. If it does, swing it forward. Roll over to the outside edge of that left foot. And when you're ready, bring your arms up and out. Turn to look toward your right fingertips, and then decide if you'd like to go a little wider. And if you do, creep out the foot, let the knee follow. You have to bend a little bit more at the hip crease if you go wider. Energize this left leg. Really roll over that back foot and pull this left inner thigh up. Find that gaze right past your fingertips. Chest open here. Deep breath in and out. And then on your next exhale, let the arms release. Maybe a nod of the head, a roll of the shoulders. And then lengthening through that front leg. Toes forward, left heel back, bend your knees. Hop, skip, jump to center. Shake out, massage anything that you're feeling. And then preparing to move on to the other side. So again, a nice, comfortable, wide stride. Check that your toes as far forward as your ankles will allow. And then pick up your left toes, top end of your mat. Right heel up and out. When you're ready, bend your left knee. Step, creep, walk that foot out. Just feel a stride that works for you. This back leg is fully energized, rolling over the back edge of your right foot. This right inner thigh rises up, so your legs are here, your torso is facing the side of your mat. Arms out, T position. Drop the shoulders, turn to look towards your left fingers, and then decide if you want to bend wider. And if you do, it's the knee following the ankle, it's the hip crease going down a little bit more, this inner thigh, straight line on your mat. Look right ahead of your fingers, gazing down, finding a drifty spot. Take a deep breath in and open up across the chest. On your next exhale, relax the arms down, roll the shoulders, nod the head. And when you're ready, lengthen through that front leg. Toes forward, heels back, bend your knees, and bring yourself the best way back to center. Move into hip circles when you're back. Piece of comfortable width. Hands on the hip or waist, or they can hang around beside you. And just roll out the hips. Just give them a little shake out, and then shake them around in the opposite direction. And then coming to center. We're moving into balance of eagle. So finding if you like to be on your mat or off your mat. If you like to use a wall, make sure that your hand is about shoulder height if you're using a wall. your home, so maybe even the top of a chair. It might be a bit lower, but you can use the top of a chair. But finding your mountain and standing tall. Bring all the weight to the right. So shift out like 90% of your weight to the right. So you feel long and heavy on the right side. Put a soft bend to your knees and bring your left foot over your right foot. Just stay on the back of the toes. Take a breath. And then bend your right knee so it comes into the back of the left knee. Torso stays tall. And then pick up your left thigh and cross it over the right. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Ready to pick up the toes. If you have the reach, you can point your toes and wrap your foot behind your ankle. You can keep your toes on the floor or maybe on a block. Torso stays tall as you bring the arms out into position. Palms forward. As you bring them forward, right elbow goes on top of left. Intertwine and hold on to what you can reach. And again, foot lifted, foot down. Toes pointed, foot flexed, what feels best. Bend at your knees and come on down a little bit more. If you're going lower, then you can bend at your hip crease and bring your shoulders a little bit more forward. Take a breath. Press into your right foot to lift up nice and tall. And when you're there, bring that left foot back up and over. Find your mountain feet. Unwind the arms. And then float them up and down in an eagle flight. Maybe a soft bend of your knees too. And then preparing for the other side. So finding your mountain. Being tall. Bringing your body weight over to the left so you feel really strong and lifted on the left side. Picking up the right foot and bringing it over the left. Let's do the arms first. Arms out to the side. Palms forward. Left elbow comes on top of right. Intertwine and hold on to what you can hold on. Then bring the left knee into the back of the right knee. Come on down a little bit. And then slide your right thigh up and over your left. And again, this foot can be pointed or flexed. It can be wrapped around that back ankle. Try and keep the torso up nice and tall. Breathe. Foot can be down here. It can be on a block. You can go a little lower, banging at your hip crease. If you go lower, you can bring your shoulders a little bit more forward. Eagle. Press into your left foot and rise on up. Bring your right foot up and over. Stand tall in mountain. Unwind the arms and go to eagle flight. Let the arms go up and down. Maybe a little soft bend in your knees at the same time. Might feel good. And then maybe floating the arms up and across the chest. Might feel good after that shoulder work of eagle. Lovely. And then finding yourself coming to the top end of your mat. Arms out to position. Half forward fold on the exhale. Bend your knees, bring the hands to the ground, and walk yourself into a down dog. A pedal at the heels, up and down, a roll at the hips, a roll at the shoulders, a little play, a little dance, a little fun in your down dog. And then bring the heels down as close to the mat as they will go. It doesn't matter if they're not on the mat. Lift up the hip crease, point the tailbone up a little higher, and shoot the tailbone a little closer to the wall behind you. Long legs, long straight spine here. Take a couple of long, slow, deep 3-part breaths. Big back body stretching, down dog. And then put a soft bend to the knees. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Stay there, keep lifted. And then float the knees down. When you're down, we're staying in the table. So if it's time to check in with your wrists, you may want to Just roll out those wrists again since you've been in down dog. And then finding your table. Right foot is coming back. We are coming into plank. Roll over the right toes, lift the back of the right leg, drape the right calf muscle down towards your ankle. Make sure you lift up the hip crease, the belly, the chest, and then bring your left foot back. Coming into your plank or staying in modified plank, that's one leg back at a time. And then roll out the shoulders like you did in the down dog. And then take the shoulders away from your ears. Pick up the thighs and drape the calf muscle down and really create a deeper plank here. Take one more big, long, slow breath in and out, and then float the knees down. We're going to a child. Wait for an exhale to bring the hips back. Any child that feels right for you, maybe wide knee child, maybe touch and pull child, one fist on top of the other, and always rest your head on the block. Wrap your hands forward, reach your hands round your feet, whichever is the best. 2 more long, slow breaths here. On your next inhale, coming back to all fours. Walk the hands forward. Bring the shoulders forward. We're coming down. Thighs, bend the elbows, keeping them close in towards the side of the chest, and peel yourself all the way down. Bring the arms forward. Do a little rock across the hip crease and lengthen down the legs. So you do this stretch on the back at the beginning of practice. Feel the difference when you're on your belly. So forehead to your mat or chin or nose. And press down into your finger pads and pull back and feel a great space in the armpits. So we're moving into the back bend of crossbow. If you practiced the last practice with me, we did half bow. So we're doing half crossbow. Your left knee and bringing your foot up towards the sky. From the belly, on an inhale, rise up through the chest, picking up the right arm and turning the right palm away from you, sweeping it out, and then across towards that left foot, that left ankle. And when you're ready, see if you can pick up your left leg. Try and keep that left thigh directly up from where it came off your mat, rather than out to the side. Press into your left hand and lift a little higher. Create a little bit more space under the armpit. And then see if you can pick up that left thigh a little bit more. Bring your leg down. As you let go of that left foot, don't let the foot flop to the ground. Let it come down softly. And bring your right arm all the way back. Maybe bring one forearm on top of the other. Bring your forehead to your top forearm. Bend your knees. And just windshield wiper your legs side to side before we move into half crossbow on the other side. So find your center, legs come down, arms come forward. Again, creep them forward so you've got a lot of space, really opened up through the side ribs here. Bend the right knee, right foot to the sky. Press deeply in your right hand as you lift up your left arm, all the way from the belly button, all the way up to the head. The arm rises, turn the palm away from you, sweep it out, and reach across towards your foot, your ankle, your toes. Try not to let that leg go out. It stays right in line with the hip. And when you're ready, see if you can pick up your right thigh. Roll that left shoulder back. Press into your right hands and see if you can lift up and open up the right armpit a little bit more. And then see if you can pick up that leg a little bit more. So pulling back on that front fingers, let the thigh come down nice and gently. When you're ready to release, control the release. Bring that leg down, bring your arms forward, turn your cheek and rest or your forehead onto your forearms. Maybe bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then let yourself down. Take a couple of big belly breaths here. And coming back up to a child, so bring the hands underneath the chest or shoulders. On an inhale, rise up. And on an exhale, come back. Maybe keeping your fingers forward and pulling back on your fingers will give the lower back a nice deep stretch. Might feel super good after your half crossbow back bend. And then bring your hands in closer, tuck the chin, roll on up. Bring the hips off to one side, swing the legs forward, and lunge walk as fast as you can to the top end of your mat. Dandasana. Palms facing in, shoulders up and down the back. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, roll on back down. Just feel the spine all super warmed up. And you're all the way down, bring the knees into the chest, rock across the lower back, and then bring the feet to the floor. So bring the heels in as close as they will go to the sits bones, and bring the legs together so they're like one unit. Arms out to position. Bring the legs over to the right. Wherever they go, they may want to rest on a block or a blanket or hang mid-air, or they may come all the way over to the floor, but the left shoulder stays snuggled down. Press down into your right hand and turn the left palm up and press into the back of the left hand, and then turn the head to look towards that palm. So the palm is up on the left, the palm is down on the right. You're pulling back from the right fingertips. Squeeze in the legs if you can. Roll the head back to center. Bring the left palm down. Bring the knees up. Bring them into the chest and rock across your lower back. And then coming to center. Feet to the floor. Legs together, arms out to position. Bring the legs over to the left. Keep them together, or maybe have a blanket between the legs and squeeze into the blanket. Press down into your left palm. Turn your left palm up and press down into the back of your right hand. And then turn to look towards your right arm. Press into those left fingers and pull back from those left fingertips. Shoulders are down here, so the legs only go where the both shoulders stay down. On an inhale, bring the head back to center. Turn the palm down. Both knees up towards the sky, in towards the chest. Rock across your lower back, or maybe knee circles might feel good after back bending and twisting through the lower spine. And then taking the knee circles around in the opposite direction. And then bring yourself to center. Take a relaxing breath and preparing to move into your choice of inversion. So legs up, dead bug, legs up with a block or two blocks or a blanket underneath your hips. Half shoulders down if that's a posture that you're familiar with and comfortable in. when you're ready, begin to gently ease yourself back down to your mat. And as you return to your mat, preparing for your final posture of practice, Shavasana. So finding any prop that you need to help support your blanket, side pillow. If you need to stretch or shake out or wriggle to help you settle. As you begin to ease into this posture, slow rock of the head and maybe a roll or wriggle of the shoulders. Allow the legs to feel really soft against the ground. And allow the back of the arms to feel really soft against the ground. And feel where the torso connects below the back of the hips, the back of the shoulders. Let that be soft. Also the back of the head. And at the front of the torso, the belly, the chest, the breastbone, the collarbones, the throat, just soften down. The jaw, chin, soften. The cheeks and the skin across the cheekbones. The bridge of the nose. Feel the eyes softly peel away from the back of the eyelids. Release across the forehead. And slowly begin a little movement, a wriggle of the toes and fingers. And begin to feel the weight of the limbs and the torso and the head against your mat. When you're ready, bring the feet to the floor. And maybe a rock of the knees side to side. And floating the right arm up and over beside your face. And easing yourself to rest on the right. placing your left hand on the ground in front of you to help support you as you come up very slowly, returning to a comfortable seat. Bringing the arms up towards the sky, placing the hands together in Ajna Mudra. And completing your practice with a chant of Om, take a deep breath in. Allowing your thumbs to rest at your heart center and taking a bow to your heart. Namaste.